Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is ZacCox, and today what we got for you are some pretty sweet cameos that GTA characters make in other games and also just in like cutscenes. And I've covered topics similar to this before, but I've never touched base on just like this topic that I'm going to show you guys in this video. And there's some pretty cool things that hopefully you guys didn't know about. So regardless if you didn't know about any of these in the video or if you did, if you just find the video enjoyable, a like rating is greatly appreciated. You guys can do that at the end of the video if you decide whether or not you like it. But also, today is my birthday. I don't want to talk about that too much, but I want to say it would be really cool if we could just get 1,000 likes on this video in celebration of that. So thank you guys for the support. But with that said, let's go ahead and get started with these pretty sweet cameos that characters make in the GTA series. So the first one, or actually the first two, are Niko Bellic, and the first one is in Grand Theft Auto The Lost and Damned, and this actually takes place in the intro cutscene to the game. And in just one snippet of this cutscene, one little quick scene, we can actually see Niko Bellic just trudging down the street, just going for a nice leisurely stroll as Johnny Klebitz and his gang ride past Niko. So that is really cool, and that's the first cameo that we have. The next one is actually, once again, Niko Bellic, but this time it's in the intro cutscene for the Ballad of Gay Tony. So it's pretty cool that Rockstar threw Niko into these intro cutscenes here, and they're pretty quick, so you guys might not have caught them before, you might have. But the second one is Niko Bellic in the Ballad of Gay Tony intro cutscene, and what's cool about this is that this is actually right after Niko Bellic and Packy McCreary and his crew and his brothers pulled off the Liberty City bank heist in the mission 3-Leaf Clover. We can see Luis Lopez walks in front of the car, and Niko and his crew, as they're just trying to get away from all the cops. If you played through the mission 3-Leaf Clover, you know what I'm talking about. They almost run in and run over Luis Lopez, so that's pretty cool. We can see Niko in the car there, and I think it's just really cool that Rockstar went out of their way to just do little things like this, just in cutscenes that really don't mean anything. It just shows how much depth and detail that Rockstar includes into their game. Now, the next one we have isn't necessarily a cameo, but it's Rockstar foreshadowing a cameo that's going to happen in their next game. And this one is actually in the Ballad of Gay Tony. And at the very end of the game, in the ending credits, about actually 10 minutes and 45 seconds in, if you look up the ending credits for the Ballad of Gay Tony on YouTube. This is, like I said, 10 minutes and 45 seconds into the credits here, and you just got to pay attention. It's one of those things that you just have to watch all of this stuff to figure out what happens. And basically, this is a more popular one. I remember when GTA 4, or just after GTA The Ballad of Gay Tony came out, and people watched these credits and things, and they saw this. It was a very popular topic. And in this cutscene, or just in these credits, we see Packy McCreary actually getting out of a taxi cab and walking into the airport with a bag on his back. And like I said before, this is Rockstar foreshadowing something that's going to happen in their next game, which would in fact be Grand Theft Auto 5, because we know that in Grand Theft Auto 5, Packy McCreary actually makes a cameo appearance. He's actually settled down in Los Santos, and we can encounter him in a random encounter actually playing as Trevor, I believe. And we can actually take him to the altruist camp and have him killed, or we can take Packy and actually use him as a associate in the many different heists that we have in single player, which is pretty cool. Like I said before, that's not necessarily a cameo, but it's Rockstar foreshadowing at the future, which they have done numerous times in multiple Grand Theft Auto games. Now, last but not least, we have Marnie Allen. And Marnie Allen, for those of you who don't know, was a stranger and freak in Grand Theft Auto 4. And we actually come across her playing as Niko, where she is actually begging for money or just drugs. And she is she's a hooker, she's a prostitute, and she offers herself to Niko for next to nothing. She's a young victim to just the streets, basically. And Niko actually feels sorry for her, and playing as Niko, we take her to a dealer for a fix, and that's basically where she just gets drugs and all this. And Upon dropping her off at this dealer, Niko also gives her $500 and sets her off on her way. Now, once again, later on down the line, Niko actually encounters her for a second time in a Stranger and Freak mission, and once again, she has just fallen victim to the streets, I guess you could say, or just made some dumb choices, and this time, she is scared and needs to flee town because she thinks she's pissed off a John, which is basically, I guess you could say a client, or I wouldn't go out and say a pimp, but basically, she's scared that this guy's gonna kill her and she wants to leave. So, Niko actually helps her out one more time, takes her to the airport, I believe, and drops her off and sends her on her way. And later on down the line, after we do this, Marnie's gonna email Niko, and she's just gonna say that she's actually attending college to become a psychologist. And she's living happily at home with her parents back in the Midwest. So that's really, really cool. But in GTA 5, she makes a cameo in the Epsilon program missions. And it seems that Marnie is doing a lot better in GTA 5 than she was in GTA 4. As we know, there's a 5-year difference between those two games. And she's moved to Los Santos and become actually a member of the Epsilon cult, a very devout member to say the least. And she's actually the one that guides Michael through the Epsilon program missions. If you've played through these, you guys know what I'm talking about. She introduces him to everyone and just kind of shows him the ropes and leads the way. So she's actually a true believer of the Epsilon program cult, opposed to many of the other members who are more or less just con artists. But after we complete the Epsilon program missions, she actually still stays in contact with Michael, providing clues to him for the Epsilon tracks that are scattered around the map. So that's really cool. I thought that encounter was one of the coolest just because it's one that you guys might not have known about from GTA 4. Just as far as this just minor character making a more or less major appearance in Grand Theft Auto 5. So, if you guys did enjoy this video and would like to see some more cameos from characters from not necessarily other GTA games, but just cameos and cutscenes that you guys might not have known about, let me know down below in the comment section. Let's go for 1,000 likes. That would be so, so awesome, guys. Thank you so much for the continued support. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet to never miss out on a video game upload on my channel. And with that said and out of the way, I believe that's just about it. You guys all take it easy. Have a safe one. My name is ZacCox, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.